Hello dear students, welcome back to all four e-learning classes. This is the first year intermediate civics class. We are in 5th unit, that is political ideologies or political theories. In our syllabus there are 5 political theories. 1. Individualism. 2. Liberalism. 3. Socialism. 4. Scientific socialism. 5. Gandhism. In the last session we discussed about individualism. So what is individualism? So individualism is also called as a laissez-faire theory. Laissez-faire is a French word. In French language, laissez-faire means leave the individuals alone. Leave the individual alone. Individualism means state should leave the individual alone. This theory first developed by Adam Smith as a economic theory. Later this theory was developed by J.S. Mill, Herbert Spencer and others politically. So according to them, so what is individualism? What is individualism? According to individualism, individuals must have more liberty or freedom, that is maximum freedom, and state should have limited functions. And one more thing is state should reduce to limited interference in the life of the individuals. Then individuals are considered that state is a necessary evil because state can protect the life and property of the individuals, hence it is a necessary institution. But it is a evil institution because it will curtail the liberty of the individual through loss of the state. And coming to arguments of the individualism, there are 4 arguments on individualism. One is ethical argument. Ethically, this theory is supported by J.S. Mill, Kant, Hume, Rousseau, etc. So according to ethical argument, the state should not interfere in the life of the individual. The state should not take up the responsibility of the individual. Then what will be happen? The individual will lose their initiative. Clear? Then economic argument. Economically, this theory was developed by Adam Smith, David Ricardo and others. According to them, state should not interfere in the economic activities of the individual like trade, commerce and industries. Third one is a biological argument. Biologically, this theory is supported by Herbert Spencer. Biologically, individualism is associated with struggle for existence and survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest is the natural law. Clear? Then last one is empirical argument. Empirically, this theory is supported by J.S. Mill. Clear? So this theory, according to this theory, so whenever and wherever the state regulated and control the industries, the result has been unnecessary delay, waste, then inefficiency and corruption. It is the important points of last class. Now today I am going to explain liberalism. This is also like a individualism. This is also like a individualism theory. Okay, it is also like a individualism theory. So first of all, what is the essence of liberalism? What is the essence of individualism? Means the aim of individualism in other words. Okay, The individualist must have more freedom. Individuals must have more freedom. It means maximum freedom. Then state should have limited powers or limited functions or limited powers. Clear? So it is the essence of liberalism. What is the essence of liberalism? Individuals must have more freedom and state should have limited powers or limited functions. Is the one. Then liberalism as a movement may be divided into two types. So liberalism is of two types. Liberalism is of two types. Number one is classical liberalism. Classical liberalism before the J.S. Mill. Before J.S. Mill. Second thing is modern liberalism. Modern liberalism after J.S. Mill. Clear? So as a movement, liberalism can be divided into two types. One is a classical liberalism before J.S. Mill. After J.S. Mill, that is a modern liberalism. Clear? It is one thing now. So here, what about J.S. Mill? J.S. Mill stands in between classical liberalism and modern liberalism. J.S. Mill stands in between classical liberalism and modern liberalism. First of all, classical liberalism. Classical liberalism was supported by who? First of all, it is supported by Adam Smith, David Ricardo and others. Clear? It is supported by Adam Smith, David Ricardo and others. Then classical liberalism supported the negative state. This theory supported what type of state? Negative state. So what is negative state? The state which performs only negative functions. What are the negative functions? Protective functions are called as the negative functions. Clear? Protective functions are called as negative functions. So the state which performs only performs what type of functions? Protective or protection and regulative functions. Clear? What is negative state? The state which performs only protective and regulatory functions is called as a negative state. Hence classical liberalism is called as a negative liberalism. Classical liberalism is called as a negative liberalism. It is a one. Number two, modern liberalism. So there was a change in the 20th century. It means liberalism was changed in 20th century, especially early part of the 20th century, because the powers and functions of the state has been changed. Okay, from time to time according to changing conditions of the society, according to the changing conditions of the society. Clear? There was a transformation of liberalism in 28th century because the functions of the state have been changed from time to time according to changing conditions of the society in early part of the 20th century. Clear? Then in the early part of the 20th century, with the great influence of T.H. Green here, actually this liberalism was supported by some writers like T.H. Green, H.J. Lasky, Tawney, Hobhouse, etc. So first of all, with the influence of T.H. Green, moral dimension was added to the liberalism. Clear? So here, with the influence of T.H. Green, what happened? So moral dimension was added to liberalism. Clear? Thereby a new concept was originated and it became modern liberalism. With the influence of T.H. Green, moral dimension was added to liberalism. Thereby a new concept, that is a welfare state concept, that is the theory of welfare state was flourished due to, with the influence of T.H. Green, moral dimension was added to liberalism. Theory of welfare state was flourished or originated, and it became, the classical liberalism became modern liberalism. Clear? It is one thing. Then modern liberalism supported the positive state. This theory supported the positive state. So which state is called as a positive state? The state which performs welfare functions is called as a positive state. Clear? Which state is called as a positive state? The state which performs welfare functions is called as a positive state. Clear? Then this liberalism is also called as positive liberalism. So what is the main reason for it is called as a positive liberalism? Because this theory supported the positive state. One thing. Second, the state will play positive role in securing dignified life to the individuals. That is the main reason. Clear? Here, what is the role of the state? The state plays what type of role? Positive role in securing dignified life to the individuals. Hence this liberalism is also called as positive liberalism. Clear? So next, one of the definition of liberalism. Here there are no perfect, accurate and definitive definitions to the liberalism, but here Webster's Unified Dictionary defined the liberalism. Which dictionary? Webster Unified Dictionary dictionary defined the liberalism. So according to this dictionary, what is liberalism? So liberalism is a term indicating the tendency towards extending individual rights and liberties. It is the definition of liberalism according to Webster Unified Dictionary. According to this dictionary, what is liberalism? Liberalism is a term indicating the tendency towards extending individual rights and liberties. In other words, the theory which provides the rights and liberties to the individuals is called as a liberalism. Then what are the important points or important tenets or important features of the liberalism? So basic tenets means the features. Basic tenets of liberalism. So what are the basic features? Number one is about man. It explains about man. So according to liberalism, man is a rational creature. Because man is a knowledge animal. Yes, he can think in right way, hence he is a rational creature. Clear? And moreover, every man has immense potential. For which purpose? To contribute to the progress of the society and to his good or to his personality development or his own good. Clear? So every man has immense potential, that is a potential power to contribute to the progress of the society and his own good, means for his development of personality. Clear? It is one thing. And according to nature, every man has certain natural rights. Natural rights. They are not violated by any authority. No authority can go against the natural rights, because the rights which are provided by the nature. Yes, there is no scope to any authority to go against the natural rights. It is the first one. Second is common interests. Here. So according to liberalism, there is no contradiction between the individual selfish interest and common interest. So there is no contradiction. Between individuals' self-interests and common interests. common interest. Common interest means the collective interest of the different diverse sections of the people. Clear? So according to liberalism, there was no contradiction between the individual's selfish interest and the interest of the diverse sections of the society. Clear? It is a one thing. Second, how common interests are originated. Common interests are originated due to the coordination or reconciliation between the individual interests of diverse people. Clear? So how the common interests are originated? Clear? The common interests are originated due to the reconciliation of diverse interests of the different sections of the people in the society. It is the second one. First one is man. Second thing is common interest. And third one is artificial institutions. Artificial institutions. Clear? So here, what are the artificial institutions? Now here, civil society and state. These are the artificial institutions. Artificial institutions means man-made institutions. The institutions which are founded by individuals for their interests. Clear? So these two institutions are created by individuals. For which purpose? To protect the common interests. To protect the common interest of the people, common interests of the individuals, common interest of the individuals. Clear? First of all, what are the artificial institutions? Civil society and state. Second thing, they are created by whom? Individuals. For which purpose? To protect their interest. Their interest means the interest of the all individuals, common interests. Clear? Second one. Sir, third is over. And fourth one is civil liberties. Civil liberties. So according to liberalism, state will promote various types of civil liberties. So what are the civil liberties? Freedom of thought. Freedom of thought. Then freedom of speech and expression. Freedom of speech and expression. Then freedom of movement. Then freedom of associations, etc. Clear? Freedom of thought, freedom of speech and expression, freedom of movement, freedom of associations, freedom of residence. Clear? These are some of the civil liberties of the individuals. Here, liberalism not only promotes these liberties but also provide the protection to them. Who will provide the protection to them? State will provide the protection to them. Clear? So it is one of the protective function of the state to provide protection to the life and liberties of the individuals. Clear? It is one thing. And sometimes the state may impose certain restrictions on the liberties of the individuals. Clear? Sometimes the state may impose certain restrictions on the individuals. Clear? So here, any restriction on individual liberties, okay, any restrictions on the liberties of the individuals should be meant to should be meant to ensure equal restriction of freedom of others, not to curtail the liberties of the individuals. Clear? The restrictions on individuals is meant to ensure the same restrictions on the enjoyment of liberty by others. Clear? It is one thing. Clear? Fourth one is over. And fifth one is freedom of contract. Freedom of contract. So here liberalism gives scope to the individuals to conclude treaties with others and institutions. So this liberalism gives a scope to the individuals to conclude contracts with others and institutions or other associations. Clear? So liberalism gives a scope to the individuals to conclude, means to make the contracts with others and institutions. It is an important concept of liberalism. It is one thing. Next, no one individual can accept any contract so without his own consent means acceptance or with approval of the individual. Clear? No one individual can accept any obligation or any contract without his own consent. That is one thing. And without mutual benefit of the individuals. Clear? Without consent of the individual. Second, without mutual benefits, no one individual can accept the contract. It is the one thing. Second, if any conflicts will arise between the individuals on a contract, who will protect the freedom of contract? State will protect the freedom of contract of the individuals. Here, the state will act as an umpire. Okay, here state will act as a umpire in the enforcement of contract or in protecting the freedom of the contract. Clear? The state will act as a umpire in enforcement of contract. Clear? It is one thing. And one more thing is the contracts which concluded with pressure should be void. Means such type of contracts are invalid if the contracts will concluded with pressure. Clear? Such type of contracts should be void. Means they should not have any validity. Clear? Then sixth one is public policy. How the government can formulate the laws? State or government can formulate the law. Yes, the public policies are formulated and implemented by the state or government. But while formulation of the public policies, the government or the state must take into consider common interest of the individuals, not selfish interest of the individuals. Clear? By taking into account what type of interest? Common interest of the individuals. Clear? The state can formulate the public policies. So here liberalism wants to formulate the laws by taking into account what type of interest? Common as common interest of the individuals. Clear? And one more point, the last point, that is privacy of procedure. Seventh one is privacy of procedure. So what is meant by privacy of procedure? Okay, it means the procedure for arriving at a decision is right. The procedure for arriving at a decision is right. The decision may be accepted, accepted to be right. Clear? Privacy of procedure means the procedure for arriving at a decision is right. The decision may be accepted to be right. Clear? If the procedure is right, the decision is also right. Then only the people can accept the decision and the procedure of the state. Clear? And it is about basic tenets of the liberalism. Clear? And last one thing is a small point, that is neoliberalism. Neoliberalism. So it is nothing but modern liberalism, but according to our syllabus, it is also called as a contemporary version of classical liberalism. So what? Contemporary version of classical liberalism. It is also called as a contemporary version of classical liberalism. Then this theory was developed by F.A. Hayek as Robert Nozick, then Milton Friedman and others. Clear? This theory was developed by F.A. Hayek, Robert Nozick, Milton Friedman and others. Then it is also considered as laissez-faire individualism. It is also considered as what? Laissez-faire individualism. Hence, it stands for what? Number one, it opposes the welfare state. It opposes what? Welfare state. This theory, neoliberalism, denounces welfare state concept. One, it opposes state intervention in the life of the individuals. It also opposes intervention of the state in the economic activities of the individuals. It also opposes intervention of the state in economic activities of the individual. And so the proponents, means the political philosophers, those who propose the neoliberalism, stands for rolling back the state. They stands for, who stands? The political philosophers, those who supported this theory, stands for rolling back the state. state. Means the state will come back to what classical liberalism. Classical liberalism supports what type of state? Negative state. Negative state performs what type of functions? Only protective and regulatory functions. Yes, hence they stands for rolling back itself. So rolling back the state. Clear na? So with this liberalism topic is over. So I will meet you in the next session. Goodbye.